Hey everyone, Tony Burke here. So I'm doing a little experiment here. So I thought I might do like a series of Tech Tuesdays, Tech Tip Tuesday, specifically with different topics. This one's going to be Arista EOS and MLAG. And let me see if I make sure that my audio is working. Specifically with different. Okay, looks good. So I saw a question on someone was talking about Slack, or talking on Slack about they had a configuration that wasn't working with Arista EOS, specifically with MLAG, and so I thought I'd make a little video showing how MLAG works, what it does, why it does it, and then how to configure it. So this will be two parts. One will be behind the scenes, and then I'll kind of go live, and then I'm recording this as well as live streaming it. And so then I'll just chop out the part where I'm preparing. So this is the part where I'm preparing. So this video is going to have two parts. So there's going to be preparing and recording. So I generally don't want to spend a ton of time on this. This is just going to be a quick tech tip. And it will be on configuring MLAG with Arista EOS. And what is MLAG? So MLAG is a type of MCLAG, or is a way to combine two switches to appear to be a single switch from a layer 2 perspective. There's an important distinction from layer 3. From layer 3 perspective, there's still two routers, which causes some issues, or can cause some issues. So I've got some slides over here. Do I want to use these instead? So I gotta change. Still not sold on doing this color scheme thing. So I'm just playing around.
I'm just goofing. New boot goofing. Oh!
So you need these to be a different color for the contrast. Oh, no, not fill. I need, there we go. And then I'll just make this go in front. There we go. So a quick just review. I think people are probably generally pretty aware of what MLAG is, but just to give a quick refresher and red, and then I'll do dashes. I'll do red. Red's a little severe. There we go. That's the MLAG domain. Maybe I need to do this. Move this over here. Over here. And then I'll have a host. Because from the host perspective, it looks like they're connected to just a single device. That's the whole point of MLAG. And connect. And connect. I'm going to need everything to be a little bit thicker. go to 3. And then we want yellow. And I always like to, it's kind of a signature move of mine. It's the thinking bubble. And the host thinks that it's plugged into a single device. I guess I should make that a little bit darker. There we go. Mm-hmm. Starting to second guess my choice in doing a darker background because it makes a lot of stuff kind of awkward. But I'll keep on it for this one at least. So this should be darker. Okay. All right, so the host thinks it's plugged into one device. So two devices combine. They pretend to be a single device from a layer 2 perspective. Fun facts about MLAG. Each vendor has its own implementation. Cisco calls it VPC. Arista calls it MLAG. Juniper calls it MCLAG. That's also my rap name. My name is MCLAG, and my flows be fresh, and also a hash of their respective headers. There is an IEEE standard. I've done that joke more than once. Can't remember what it's called. No one really uses it. DRNI. It's called DRNI. Yeah, DRNI. I think HP uses it. And we'll talk about configuring it for so when we configure MLAG for Arista EOS, first we need checklist. So they're not done in any particular order. So first we need to configure the link between two one, we need to pick two switches. So like the Sith, only two there are. Switches can only be in an MLAG domain. Switches need to be the same hardware model. And they need to be the same software version. Exceptions are for upgrades, but upgrade version compatibility must be checked. Maybe that's a requirements. Maybe I'll do a requirements one. Yeah, and then the checklist will be configure port channel between switches. Got all right, so we need to configure the port channel between switches. 2 links, usually the lower speed links will work. Usually the host facing interfaces. So we need that. Typically, we need to create peer link port channel. Layer 2 port channel B. Create a peer link VLAN. Be any VLAN 4094 is often used. Highest usable VLAN ID. Disable spanning tree for that VLAN. I'm just looking at my config here. Configure L3, configure SVI on peer link VLAN with a /30 on each side. This is used for sync. So the two can sync up. Pass the peer link VLAN on the trunk. Mode trunk. Configure MLAG. So configuration, tactics, strategy. So we can reuse. It's interesting. We can reuse the /30 IPs as they are SVI IPs as they are locally significant in the MLAG domain. We can use the same domain ID across all switches. Domain ID is locally significant in the MLAG domain. Do not trunk the peer link VLAN anywhere but the peer link. Then peer link VLAN should only be instantiated on the peer link. Okay, so, and then the next slide, configuration. We'll move this down a bit, and then I'll do a config window for both. Hopefully I can fit both configs in. I'm going to make them darker. I've got a config over here in the window and a different window. I don't know why it's doing that. Weird. If I copy it from a browser, it does this thing. So this is configs I've got stored somewhere else. Then I will do what did I do? GitLab mono. Yep, so I'll just go ahead and copy and then put that over here. So there we go. And then there's a little bit interesting thing about system ID and bridge ID. When two switches form an MLAG domain, they come up with a new shared system ID and bridge ID. Switches have IDs, which are MAC addresses, for various layer 2 protocols, specifically spanning tree protocol and LACP. They come up with a new shared system ID and bridge ID. So just do. Shared ID. All right, so I'll group these, and then if you hold down the control key, nope, that's not it. It's the shift key. It will scale them while keeping their proportions. We just need to make the font a little bit bigger. All right, so make the text white. So system ID would be 001 Charlie 73000001. Or I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what? I'll do this. So they still will have their own system IDs. But they will have, when they form an MLAG domain, they form a little election. They have a little election, and then one of them becomes the primary, and they take the the system ID of the primary and then just change the first octet. To make that a different color there. Oops, did not mean to do that. And they're both active in the data plane. One switch is elected primary. Both switches are active in the data plane. One switch generates LACP PDUs, B PDUs, etc. I go over a little bit about a Mac learning with MLAG because it's interesting. So I'm going to shrink this down. I'll need a table. Maybe smaller. It's a row above. And then we're going to combine these two. Go to table layout. Merge. So this will be center. We'll do white. This will be leaf 1 and 2 forwarding table, or leaf 1 forwarding table. this is MAC address. This is interface. Do need that to be a bit bigger. And I think I want a different color. Let's do orange. And we'll do make those bold and white. So 0, 0, and this will be all right. How big can I make these before breaking stuff? Okay, that looks good. Make this bigger too. I probably want to do, yeah, probably just want to make this appear somewhere. There we go. There's a whole process here. There we go. So put an interface down here, down here. Call it E1. Or E7 rather. And then connect them. Use that. I don't know why I went to another page. And then this one, I need, and I'll do this. Circle is the universal symbol for there be a lag. So I need some shapes because we're gonna do some animations here. There we go. So this represents a some sort of frame comes in. That triggers a Mac learn, and then there's a sync, automatic sync. Because of the way that it's done. There we go. Gives it enough room there. Because there's a sync. The tables sync up. So when we get a frame from on either side, the other side shares that information. So now we do the animations. So this one's going to be the first one, so that'll be up here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'll do fade in. And then these two will fade in. And then this will fade in. And then these two will also fade in. So that way when we look at it, frame comes in from the host, leave 2 updates its forwarding table just like it normally does. But in addition, because this interface is configured for MLAG 7, it does a sync so that the other switch, which also has an MLAG 7 member, will also get that MAC address. And we'll do another one from traffic flow from network. So I'm going to delete these. Table layout, delete rows, same thing. I'll be lazy. There we go. But I will delete these as well. So I think I'm about ready to do it. The other thing I need to do, is a couple thoughts. When to use MLAG. If your network is layer 2 leaf spine, what we also call collapsed core, it's the only way to multi-home systems. If your network is layer 3 leaf spine plus EVPN VXLAN, you can use, you have two options to multi-home hosts. I called them systems, I'll call them hosts. So MLAG or EVPN all active. So those are your two choices. So yeah, we don't need to save those. So the next step is I'm going to go to GitHub and make a new repo. I'm going to call this Tech Tuesdays. And then I will make so I probably want to do this on a system that's already got something I can work with. So I think this one will work out just fine. Oops. There we go. I'll make a directory for 29 or 2025 729. Call it that. All right, so then I need to sync this up. Get init, get branch, main, get add remote, origin, and then I need the URL. That should do it. Oh, get remote add. Get commit or get add, get commit, first commit, get push origin main. So put the configs in here. Come on. Do your little thing. What's going on here? Let's try over here and publish. Okay. All right, so it should be on there now. Yep, cool. And then I need to make sure that I've got a blank config on Arista at leave 1. Sudo docker ps. All right. So sudo clab deploy reconfigure. It should erase everything. So I'm just preparing everything.
That's the cloud!
That was a Larry Ellison. I've got a soundboard.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria!
So while this is doing, we can watch this come up in btop. Sudo dnf-y install btop. Here's my zoom. There we go. Just waiting for this to come up. I'm gonna take a little break for dinner, but I'm ready to record this. I think I've got the presentation, so I've got the slides. So I'm not going to do the recording just now. Just let me make sure that I've got leaf 1. Okay, it looks good. And then so we'll playbook, set up nodes. So it just throws a bunch of stuff on. Okay. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to... Crap. Because I just realized I changed the hosts to not be same thing for this. I made them Linux boxes instead of EOS types. So yank for yank. Yank for yank. This is me remembering my vim commands. There we go. Man, I really like BTOP. Okay, just still waiting. Let's see, it's pegged the CPUs. I've only got 4 in this system. I can add more if I wanted to, but I was testing to see if I could run Container Lab with 4. And again, it works fine. It's just a little bit slower than if you had 6 or 8. It's just the instantiation when you stand everything up. That's what generally takes a while. There, looks like it's almost done. And then I'm going to take a break for dinner. And then I'll come back and I'll record the Tech Tuesday. It is really nice. So I put in the effort to make these instructions and templates and stuff to build out a Linux system that's got Container Lab. It's got EOS. It's got VS Code running as a web app. That's the interface you're seeing right here. All right, there we go. And Ansible and all the utilities pre-installed. So I can just spin up a new machine whenever I need to. I tend not to use containers for this particular type of purpose because I'm generally running containers inside of it, so it should be a VM. But you can do it with containers too. All right, so what I need to do now, let's go to Ansible. Inventory. And then set up nodes. Just do all. There we go. So it just puts some baseline utility niceties into it. Like I'm going to leave one, logs me in right without a password because I've got my SSH key uploaded, and it drops me right into privileged exec mode rather than me have to type enable. All right, looks like everything is prepared. So yeah, I'm going to go take a break.